Hello and welcome back to the Programming in Ninox training series. In this class, we're going to look at functions that we can apply to arrays. An array is simply a selection of records. An array can be as large as all of the records in a single table, or as small as no records or no objects at all. Arrays can be analyzed using numeric and statistical functions like count, min, max, sum, average, first, and last. Remember, an array is a list of items. Arrays are important because they allow us to extract a user-defined subset of records from within a table and operate just on those records. We may want to count how many customers owe us money. In these situations, we would want to go to our customer table and extract a subset of records. Only those customer records where the outstanding balance is greater than 0. And we can then apply numeric and statistical functions to that selection or array of records. Now, arrays come in many forms. This is the child transaction line item table that is the child to the parent transaction table. If we take all of the children of a single parent, that is an array. It is a selection of records. And as we now know, we can apply statistical, trigonometric, and mathematic functions to arrays or selections. Here we are able to count the number of items in an array, which is equal to the number of line items on any given invoice. And as the child record count changes, we see that the count of items in the array changes. Here we see an array that consists of the names of all the products on all of the line items in this particular transaction. We have 2 line items. Here are the names of the products. And here we see these names presented as an array, a comma-separated list of objects where each object is the name of the product. Look at the difference between an array and a text string. In an array, we have a comma-separated list of objects where we can see each object is separated by the comma and the space. Compare that to a text string. Here we have a comma-separated list of values where the value is separated only by the comma delimiter. Arrays are important because we can count objects. We can use the index function to select the first, the second, the last object. Remember, arrays are selections and selections are zero-based. So the first selection or the first object in the array is the 0 object. This is object number 1. In an array with a third object, this would be object number 2, even though it is the third object in our list. CSV, or arrays represented as text, can be achieved by simply pointing to a selection of records, and here we see that selection is all of the transaction line items for this particular transaction. And then defining what we want to see represented in the array as the objects. And what we want to see is the product name field from the product that is linked to the transaction line item child. We want to see it as text. And we want to specify that we only want to see each product sold one at a time. We want a unique list. The text declaration allows us to get this CSV, or comma separated value, list of items. Conversely, the concat function says select a group, in this case, the names of all the products on all the line item children of this transaction, and present it as an array of objects, not merely a comma-separated string of text values. This gives us the array, and again, in the array, our values are separated by a comma space, whereas in the text string, they're separated only by the comma. Another common use of arrays, and a function we like to apply to that array or selection, revolves around multiple choice fields. Not dynamic multiple choice, as we studied in class 120, but multiple choice fields defined by the system administrator. Here we see a multiple choice field that gives us 5 different shipping options. They are not mutually exclusive. Therefore, we could ship an order overnight for free and make sure it gets delivered even if the next day is a Saturday or Sunday. Here we see all 5 options in this single multiple choice option field. But here, using the chosen function, we are able to point to that multiple choice field and extract only those items that were actually selected or chosen by the user at runtime. If we go in and take a look at the options that were chosen, here we see them represented as text, and we know that because it is a comma-separated list. Here we have an array. Arrays are critically important when we are trying to automate processes, because processes are rarely applied to every record in a table. More often than not, we are statistically or mathematically analyzing or extracting and reviewing and transforming a certain subset of all of the records in a table. The array allows us to filter in an effort to get just those records we want to see. In our next class, we're going to look at one function that is one of the most powerful and important functions in Ninox, the select function. The select function allows us to operate with the greatest degree of precision when defining, requesting, and extracting arrays or selections of records out of a table. I'll see you in the classroom. Visit us at www.nioxis.com. Here you can learn about different Ninox solutions. You can get tech support through our Ninox Help Desk, which is available 7 days a week, or you can schedule private one-on-one concierge sessions for training, or we can help you build your application. And if you haven't done so already, sign up for our free Ninox Learning Lab. We do this every Thursday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. in the UK, 6 p.m. Central European Time. These free hour-long sessions enable you to learn more about Ninox, features, functions, and solutions. We have open Q&A where you can get answers to all your Ninox questions, and you can meet other members of the global Ninox community. We look forward to seeing you there.